Today we're going to be showing you how to get more power in your golf shots by stopping that early release. Hi, I'm Piers Ward.
And I'm Andy Proudman. You're watching Me and My Golf TV.
Okay, so today we're answering a Facebook question from Dave Smith, and Dave has asked what causes an early release, or casting, or scooping, as we often hear it as well. So Andy, okay, first of all, let's go through what is an early release. So
okay.
If you can just actually show the viewers.
Early release, probably one of the most common ones and one of the hardest to change, but
yeah.
Let's go through it. So early release is basically in the downswing. So we've created some good angles with the lead forearm and the wrists, but early release is losing those in the downswing, so sort of throwing this club out too early and losing any of the angles that we've created in the backswing.
Okay, basically. And so what can this create? What bad shots do we get from this?
We see a lot of contact issues, maybe thin and fat,
okay.
but also a lot of power issues as well. So, you know, we're not really storing that power in the downswing for long enough.
Okay, a lot of height as well, so into the wind becomes very difficult
so
to get.
We can add a lot of loft here at impact by sort of losing those angles here and creating a lot of loft at impact there. Right?
Okay, so before we get into the reasons why this can happen, what should we do? For instance, if we were to look at the guys on the TV, so the best players in the world, what do they do?
Okay, the best players in the world then, they create those angles on the way back, but they hold them or even increase them in the downswing until we're sort of back towards the golf ball here. So you can see here, we've done a lot of videos on lag, and it's quite an important part, but we see that they hold their angles very late in the downswing here.
Okay, if you just keep going to impact for me.
Yep.
So now we notice that 6 iron now that Andy's got, he's de-lofting it, so he's actually going to make it a stronger golf club. If you just do the early release for me. And there's a 6 iron adding loft. So obviously it can make a significant difference in power on the golf shot. Some people can go from that to that and hit it 20 yards further.
Yeah,
so it's
that flight as well.
It's a pretty important video to maybe talk about this one, or a pretty important swing fault to understand. So for us, there's 3 main reasons. Okay, there's a technical reason why this often happens. So it's something, the early release happens as a result of something, which we'll come to in a moment. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's a concept, and number 3, it can be a physical issue. So let's go with the technical reason first of all. So there's one thing that we often see in the golf swing which causes an early release. So Andy, can you show the viewers what that is?
Club face.
All right, okay, what about
club face. So basically the early release is usually a compensation because people are trying to square the face up.
Okay.
Unconsciously, really.
Being open.
Yeah, being open, so the face gets open in the backswing. So a lot of people then have to try and sort of throw the club early and do their best to square the face, which they can do, but then that results in the bad shots or
absolutely.
the high shots.
So what will generally happen if the club face is in an open position where the face is a little more upward maybe, and you were to do all those good things that Andy was doing with being a great player, you've got to work extremely hard to get that face square. So as Andy said there, you've got to recover it, you've got to flip it in there a little bit early. Okay, so the first thing I would say, if you think you have got an open club face, then fix that first, then you might find it a lot easier.
It's going to be very difficult. We talked about lag in a lot of videos, and a lot of people are trying to work on lag, but it's very difficult if you have got an open face to actually get the results, because it's just going to go further right.
Absolutely.
So it's really important.
Make sure that's probably the number 1 thing, really. Okay, so as far as the concept is concerned, if we think about the sport that we play, we want to get the golf ball in the air. Now, every sport that I've played, whether it be football, whether it be cricket, tennis, if we want to hit the ball in the air, we sort of hit it on the way up like so. So you'll sort of we've got a tennis racket over there, I think somewhere from a previous video, you get that wrist and you just sort of flick it up in the air and hit upwards on the golf ball. Help it in the air, absolutely. Well, golf's different. We've got the loft. So yes, we swing the shaft, but the loft here, that's what's going to get the golf ball in the air. So we can actually hit, as we've shown just previously, we can hit down the golf ball like that and the ball will still go in the air because of the loft. So maybe the concept is such that you need to work at that and think, well, hang on a bit, I can hit down on the golf ball. Not that you necessarily talk about that all the time, but you can hit down on the ball and the ball can go in the air. Okay, so that's number 2, the concept. Physically, now what can happen if there's a physical issue? So I suppose the golf clubs, they can be too heavy.
Too heavy, yeah.
So if you we see this a lot from junior golfers as well, when they have a set of golf clubs which are just too big and too heavy for them, that they just cannot hold on to the golf club for long enough and they will throw it down early. So the weight of the golf club, and even as a fully grown adult, you've got to be careful. Make sure, I've definitely had clients of mine who the golf clubs are too heavy for. So we've had to go for lighter golf clubs, maybe some graphite shafts or something like that. Okay, so we've got 3 things there, Andy. We've got a technical reason with an open face. We've got a concept issue, so there's not sort of understanding that you can hit more downward on the golf ball. And we've got a physical strength issue. So, if I give you that golf club there, I think you've got a drill which can actually encompass all three.
Yeah, definitely. So this is going to help you create the feeling, but also let you know if basically there is a strength issue as well, really. So we're going to get the golf club in each hand. Okay?
And we can get this face square doing this as well,
yeah, we
can't
can get the face square as well. So from each hand here, we're going to do a backswing, okay? Swing the clubs together. We're going to swing to the top of the golf swing. But then what we're going to make sure on the way down, we're going to swing down. Now, if you're somebody who early releases the golf club, you're going to find that the right hand here is going to dump that club out early.
Okay, I'm just going to walk around there, yep.
So what we want now is if we can swing the clubs back together, again, working them back nice and closely together on the way down now, we're going to retain the angles on the way down. And notice here, my right hand, I'm working very hard not to let that come down here. So I'm holding the angles in that downswing.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's a few things we need to look at here. So start again for me, Andy. So as Andy is going back here, you'll notice he's pretty much keeping the shafts parallel. It's really tricky to start with. Andy's pretty strong, so he can do this well. But it actually really does help you, and it can also show up other things like swing plane issues if you've got a dominant hand. But we can see here he's pretty parallel here, and then as Andy said, he's going to swing down so he gets down to his right thigh, and we want to make sure that the right hand is holding the shaft upwards. So we're doing a study at the moment, so anyone who early releases it, we are getting them to do this drill. Two main reasons. We want to see if they've got the strength to do it, and we want to see which hand is causing the early release. And at the moment, the study isn't finished yet, this hand, as we thought it would do, is causing the majority of the problems. So this is a great drill for strength building. Andy, you okay there?
Yes, I'm right.
Still there. Have a go one more time for me if you could.
Okay.
So swing back again. So now as he comes down, he's going to, as he said, he's going to make sure he gets that right wrist in a good position.
And this is quite hard. I'm holding the club quite down the bottom of the club here. And
Yep.
it's really difficult to maintain that for a long time. So
okay. And
definitely a strength issue.
okay, I just need you to swing down to where the ball will be if you could. So from here now, you're swinging down to a great position here, but you're going to make sure by the time you get to the ball, you square it up. Beautiful. So you can even see here, if one of the hands likes to leave the face, if the right hand maybe wants to leave the club face open, or even the left hand does it, you can actually work towards that. So I think this is probably one of the best drills you can do without hitting a golf ball. One of the best drills you can do to help fix this early release, because it builds up strength, which is great. It gives you awareness of which hand might be causing the problem. So I think it's something well worth doing. So anyone else there who out there who does do an early release, do this drill and see if it works. And
definitely help having a mirror in front of you as well.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, either a mirror or get someone to video it for you. And I just anyone who early releases, the first thing I do after I see them hit a few shots, I get them to do that drill, video on my phone. I'm storing them all, and we'll perhaps get the data to you maybe when we've got maybe a couple of hundred swings on there. Okay, so give us a thumbs up if you like the video. If there's any other swing faults that you want to understand a little bit more and to find out whether they could be a concept or it could be a technical reason or maybe even a strength issue, then obviously give us those and we'll see if we can go through them. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon on Me and My Golf TV.